people, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name's Kirstin and this is where I art and craft. And as you'll have seen by the flippy, today is another project for Kreativ Paper Artisan, as I am a member of Karin's design team. And we're starting August. And for August, this is the kit that the design team members are using, and this is the Oktoberfest. So if you're looking for something a little less flowery or a little less lacy, for somebody who doesn't like flower or lace, or maybe you're looking to do a journal for the man in your life or a man in your life, there's a couple of bits in here you might still want to just not use that page, but it's certainly a more gender inclusive kit than maybe some of the flowery ones. So let's have a look at this. Get some beer steins and accordion. These are the pages, barrels. He's even got his Leidenhausen on. This has got onions and fish. Oh, that one's upside down. We've got some frankfurters and some barrels. And the reason that this is all page is because I didn't shrink to fit. And that shows you how much smaller our pages are. Then the States. I'll see. It looks like I've got them all upside down now. Let's do them around that way. And we've got some more pretzels in this one as well. A Bavarian ham. We've got some trees like the Black Forest, another beer keg. Oh, and it's round the upside down. I should have checked this out first, shouldn't I? But you can see how these pages are very gender neutral. If somebody likes beer, then you know the pages are there and they're going to find something in them. Then we've got some line pages and another one and another one and another one. So that's 4 line pages. Then we come on to some background pages, and this one's have some pint glasses. Got some steins and some frankfurters. This one's upside down and some barrels. We've got some accordions and some beer cans and some hops in between. Some pretzels and steins. We've got a lager glass, this kind of wheat. This is quite a retro page. I really like this page. Not that I don't like the rest of them, but that one kind of just says things to me. And we've got our couple, and then we've got our bottles and steins and onions and fish, and our bottles and cans and frankfurters and pretzels and hams and everything, and strings of frankfurters as well. And then we've got this. This is quite a fab collage page. Then we have the right way up. We have paper clips, too large, too small. Dearie me, Kirstin. We've got these fussy cuts. We've got some pockets, some medallions and some belly bands. We've got some tickets and 3 sizes tickets, tags in 3 sizes. Then I've printed this on coffee dye, as I do tend to. That's the 2 large envelopes. And then we've got another large envelope and a smaller envelope, a couple of small cards, and these hats on these gentlemen is just fabulous. So that is the kit, and what I shall be using this month to alter this book. So I got this cheap. It's actually in extremely good condition and it's quite modern. 2010, it's even of this millennium, but this is what I'm going to alter nevertheless. I kind of quite like this on the front already, although I do find it interesting that that's more kind of wine than beer on the front, that image. So I might end up losing that. I might keep the brewing and lose that bit. But the cover I'll think about at a later date. And inside, mostly it's writing. I like the fact the writing is red, but there is some recipes here, which I quite like as well. But there are some drawings in. So the first thing I want to do is I want to lose half the volume of this. Well, that took longer than I had expected. I've halved the volume of this book. I might have to remove some more pages, but we'll get round to that in a bit. And I just, before I put the video back on, I thought I'll cut the journal pages into single pages, because I'm mostly going to be sticking these in a book rather than using them as a journal page. And I thought if I then decide I want a journal page, I can always print it off again. And I then discovered my flaw. The pages are too small for the book. Now, learn from me, people. I'm always telling you to learn from me. Now, what I could, of course, do is just stick them on the page and leave the bit that was left, but they've virtually cut up the text block, so all that's left is the kind of plain bit round. So I had a big load of reprinting and resizing to do. And what I've done is I've reprinted. This was a mistaken size. This was a mistaken size. Finally, I got the right size. So I've reprinted all the pages now in a size that will, it's just slightly bigger than, but I wanted it slightly bigger because it's easier to trim it down. And these are the ones that were more a kind of all over journal page, and I just printed them full size to get the full effect of those. And then the other thing I did was I printed off some of the background pages, well, all of the background pages, and I've printed that just on, well, it's not quite ordinary copy paper because this is recycled copy paper, and I loved using this recycled copy paper because you can't see in this, but it's a kind of it's not white, it's an off-white, so you do get a kind of more vintagey print. You can even tell with the, let's get the same two prints. Let's get the same two prints. Here we go. So you can see, because this is an off-white paper, it's the white bits are very different between the matte photo paper. So I kind of like the effect I get with this recycled paper, photo paper, recycled copy paper. So now, having done that, we can turn to the book. And what I've done is I've removed several pages, and I've already folded over and glued some pages. I'm aware that I'm probably going to have to remove some more pages, because I think at the end of the day the paper might bulk it up to such an extent that actually I probably only need one page. I'm sorry, what I should have done is I should have taken you through taking this apart, for those of you who've maybe not done that before. Most modern books have 4 double pages in a signature, and this signature, for example, I've ended up leaving 3. I've only removed 1 of the double pages, and then I've folded over 2 of those. So I've actually got a thicker bit here than I had originally. That's before I put anything on. So I think I should have maybe put every second one, if not every one, down to at least 2 or 1, because by the time I fold over, and I'm kind of regretting having stuck this down. I stuck these things down to get them out of the way. Oh, I might be able to get that back up because I only used, or I might not. kind of half regretting sticking these down. If I'd cut them instead of stuck them down, then it wouldn't have mattered because, well, maybe I can. Or maybe I can't because it's going to end up being, right, okay. Let's not try and do that, Kirstin. Let's just leave it in the mess it is. You can learn from my mistakes. But the other reason I folded them over because you get this lovely smooth line then, but never mind, never mind. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to do this it's not quite the centre, but it's acting as the centre page, which I'm going to do as a double pocket this side and a double pocket this side, so that it's kind of a what's the word I want? Well, I'll show you. We'll get on with it and I'll show you. So I need to start with doing the back. It's much better doing the back first of all. And I might just use this one on that back. That might be quite nice. And then actually, that's a thought. I could use the same on the back and this one and use a different one. Oh, I could use the other half of that on this one. That's the thing to do. So let's decide on the 3 papers. The paper on the inside one here, I'm going to use as a card, but the other 2 papers I'm going to use as the recycled paper. So what might I use? I think actually I might use this one. This one will be the middle then on both of them, and I might use this one on the middle. And then what am I going to use on the end? I'm kind of going towards the green. What ones? Oh, that might be because that's kind of good. It's got a bit of blue on it as well, which is blue on the top. Or I could use that. Oh no, that means that one would be on the bottom. No, I wanted to, right, okay, so I wanted to use this. That's my problem with using that on the top and the bottom, isn't it? Because if I use that on the top and, well, why does that not need to be? That could be. Why can't that be? Right, so we put that on the middle. And then we're going to have to use another one of these. And that will actually stop it getting too thick as well, won't it? Which one shall we use? Which one goes with something different? Oh, maybe use the lager glass. That kind of stops it being too fussy, doesn't it? Sorry, you're not seeing these things I'm looking at there, are you? There we go. Oh, I'll maybe use this lager glass actually. Let's use that lager glass. Because then what we've got is we've got a progression. We've got that then on there, and then we have that on the bottom, and there's a kind of, and then this one will then be at the other side. So these need to kind of speak to each other as well. So because you've got the blue line with the, yeah, I like that. I might start by doing the inside page. That might be a good way to start. Let's begin by trimming all 3 of these pages up to the length they need to be, which would probably be best done if I measured, wouldn't it? This book is 8 15/16 high, and I'm not sure if my trimmer it doesn't matter which one of these I start with. I think I'm going to take it down a little bit, but not all the way down. So I think I'm going to take it down to, that point, and then you can kind of, yeah, let's take it down to that point. Does that still leave enough? That's that point there. That still leave enough for this bottom pocket? It does indeed. So I need to cut this one at that point, and this one probably needs to be cut virtually in half, doesn't it? If we cut that girl at the waist, what have we got here? Yeah, girl at the waist. I'm gonna cut this in half for now. So we have that one in there, this one in here, this one in here. Oh, that needs to be shortened a wee bit further. Oh, I could wrap it round to shorten it, couldn't I? This one in here. This one on here. And this one on here. Now we've got 3 pockets that side and 3 pockets that side. So what I'm going to do is I need to leave a wee bit of a gap there, being an issue if I try and stick those totally down there, they'll end up catching each other. I'm going to ink down the centre and just leave them out a bit like that. These need a further wee trim, so I need to actually look at where the, see, I don't want to trim them, can you see? I don't want to trim when that one where it's suggesting. Oh, actually it might be okay because it's then that beard head's the next one. Yeah, okay, I will trim that where that's suggesting. And then this one, I don't want to trim off the beard head, so this one I'm going to trim at the bottom so that I leave that bit at the top. And then this page I'll measure up with the top of the page, and that's okay. And this one I'll measure up with the top of the page, and that's okay, and the same with this back too. The one thing I'm thinking I will do before I'm going to stick those down and then I'll be back. I'm going to ink up this middle bit, stick all these down, and then I'll be back. Having done this, the next thing I want to do is I want to cut notches out of this pocket and this pocket. Well, before then I need to decide whether I'm going to leave it as a long pocket or going to separate it into 2 shorter pockets. I always find that these long pockets do tend to gap a bit, but I think I could probably get away with making this and then leaving this one a long one. I think it'd be quite nice to have a long one and a short one. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do a long one and a short one both sides, or maybe I'll just do 2 long ones and I can decide again later. And then, yeah, let's leave it 2 long ones because there's not going to be a gusset. So let's leave it 2 long ones. So what I need to do is I need to ink up all my edges. I need to put my notches in, ink up everything, and then stick down the pockets. So that one went up slightly. Should we take this one down slightly then? It's like staggered tags. We can have staggered indents. So I've stuck all that down. We've now got our pockets, and the next thing I want to do is I want to stick an image on either side of these pages, because I'm not going to put anything else on these pages, I don't think. Or am I? Because my plan is to then put a hidden paper clip to kind of hold those centre pages together, so you can actually really fill up those pockets without it being an issue. Right, I think we'll go on and do the paper clip, but we'll leave the pages as they are at the moment, and the pages can be, we can decide on the pages at a later date. So let's do a hidden paper clip, and I'm going to put this in my book press. Do you want to see my book press? That might be an idea, mightn't it? So this is it in my book press. I've put those pages with the pockets in the book press. Because this book is now less than it is, if I put the whole book in, it wouldn't, and I'd end up damaging the cover, and I don't really want to do that. So we'll just do it that way. I've dug out this hidden paper clip from Karin's kit. It's really very clever. That's the girl's skirt that's making the background for Good People Drink Good Beer. And I've already stuck a bit of sari silk on there, and I'm going to stick this accordion on there as well because that fits beautifully. I'm going to ink this up first. And then for those of you who are maybe new to Karin's kit or new to hidden paper clips, you get a bit of paper that's slightly smaller than your paper clip, than the outside of your paper clip. So this is the outside one. You can see how it's slightly smaller, it's slightly shorter and slightly narrower. In fact, I would like it to be slightly narrower a bit more, so I'm just going to trim another wee bit of, so I'm trimming in the inside of the cutout line rather than the outside. That's what I would do, because otherwise you might still find you can see it a bit. Right, and having done that, what I now want to do is I now want to ink round. This, when it goes in, is smaller. Now, although it will then be folded over, you will still see that gap a wee bit. And I didn't used to do this, and it used to annoy me. And then I thought, why don't you just ink that up before you stick it on? Because then if you try and ink it up after you've stuck it on, it's very difficult to get in that space. So I now always ink it up before I stick it on, and it would be wiser to ink it up before I'd even stuck the other bits on as well, but never mind. There we go. And now then you see, when you stick it together, you're not going to see any whites, whether it's a wee bit from just the outside edge of that or whatever. You're not going to see any white at all now. So let's just ink up the outside of this one. In my view, use a good glue that has some substance to it and will continue to have substance to it after it has dried. So I always use my 3-in-1 Fabri-Tech, Collal, whatever you call it where you are. It's because of the to get it in between the paper clip, you see, and then you want it to stay stuck in between the paper clip. You don't want it then coming loose of the paper clip as it dries. And I find dark glitter glue won't stay stuck as you take the paper clip, your hidden paper clips on and off, and I think that's because it dries thinner, and because you've got this gap in between your paper clip. If that isn't full of glue and dries solid, then what ends up is you end up having just the taking it on and off loosens. And it's not about loosening the glue or anything like that, it's just about the fact that I've put that too high because I was talking. Let's see if I can get it down a bit, that's better. yeah, it's just, in my experience, art glitter glue doesn't work for for hidden paper clips. If you have a different experience, jolly D. If you use your hidden paper clips just for decoration and never take them on and off, then you probably find art glitter glue is fine. I use my hidden paper clips as closures, as things to move around and stick things under and stick things over, and so I use 3 in 1, and you can see I put a lovely big blob down the middle there so that it will adhere and stay adhered, not as it dries shrink away from the other side. I've taken this out the book press just to show you what the paperclip was all about. It needs to go back in again because it's still curling. But these pages will be held together by this hidden paperclip, and then anything that falls out the pages, anything that falls out the pockets won't fall out the page because this is holding it together. And if it falls out the page, it'll fall out the book. So it's just to kind of keep everything nice and neat. This needs to go back in the press. So I'm going to call it's done for today. There's still a lot to do. I might do some of the other pockets that are like this off camera. I've got some pockets that are like this in the book. That's a taller one. Well, that's like that size one. And I will do that kind of pocket in the book while I'm off, while I'm not recording, off, not recorded, not recorded. That's what I mean to say, isn't it? Although this one was going to be slightly different. I will, there was this, yeah, it's not going to be that great different. So I will do some stuff off camera. I will do some stuff on camera. Which is which, I don't know, but hopefully I will do the stuff that you want to see on camera and the stuff that's sort of repetitive of what I've already done off camera. I hope that makes sense. If you'd like Karin's kit, and it is a cracker of a kit this month, then you'll find the code for 35% off down below, along with a link to where you can get it. You'll also find details of the other collaborators. Please go along and have a look at their videos and like their videos and subscribe to their channels. If you would like to share what you're doing with this kit, then please remember and hashtag KPA, Creative Paper Artisan. And there's also her Facebook group, Karin's Facebook group, Creative Paper Artisan Facebook group, that you can join and share what you're doing in that. But until next time, thank you for watching. You take care, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.